I'm hoping that your Friday is going well. Today we are starting the 2015 paper test series A, paper 1 prelims, where we complete the MCQ analysis of all the 2015 questions that were there, and then we proceed with 2016 question. So this video is going to have, I think, 15 or 25 questions as per the requirement, as long it would be and as hectic it would be, because I don't want it to be long. So let's begin. The first question for our first video for 2015 paper: the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana has been launched for providing housing loan to poor people at cheaper interest rate. No, that's Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. Promoting women self-help groups in backward classes. No, that's the NABARD thing. Promoting financial inclusion in the country. Yes. So C is the correct answer. The Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana has been launched for promoting the financial inclusion in the country. Then we have the second question, when we see, with reference to the 14th Finance Commission, which of the following statements is or are correct? It has increased the share of states in the central divisible pool from 32% to 42% and has made recommendations concerning sector-specific grants. So, just to give you a hint, 14th Finance Commission, just like other Finance Commission, becomes important again. So just make sure that whenever you're going through all the commission and everything, make sure that you go through the recommendations. And meanwhile, let's look at the recommendations, because yes, the major recommendations: increase the share of states in the center's divisible tax pool to 42% from 32% at present. So the first option gets correct, and second option has no mention over the recommendations of the 14th Finance Commission. So this is how recommendations becomes important, because you have to mug up these to write in your answers so that you enhance your answers, and with that UPSC might directly ask you from the recommendations. So make sure that you look over the recommendations nicely. So our answer is A1 only. Then we have the third question: the Fortaleza Declaration recently news is related to the affairs of its BRICS, because let's know what's Fortaleza Declaration. It stressed that NDB will strengthen cooperation among BRICS and will supplement the efforts of the financial institutions for global development. So that was Fortaleza Declaration. A decrease in tax to GDP ratio of a country indicates which of the following? So this time you need to know what is tax to GDP ratio, and then what are the impact, what are the effects, and then proceedingly know about what happens and what doesn't. So tax to GDP ratio is a better financial position the country will be in, because if it goes higher, the country is enhancing further. So if there is a decrease, yes, the economy would be impacted. But would the income be anywhere disturbed? No, income will not be impacted anywhere, because higher the GDP ratio, it's all about the government. It will be able to cast its fiscal net wide, and it will have a lesser dependence on the borrowings. So our correct answer would be, when we have the slowing economic growth rate, yes. Less equitable distribution of national income, no, because there is nothing about distribution that is impacted or anything like that. So the correct answer is A1 only for fourth. Next, we have the fifth question. We have, in the South Atlantic and Southeastern Pacific regions in tropical latitudes, cyclone does not originate. What is the reason? So when we look at the proper geography thing, we'll go through all of this. But for now, the correct answer is B. The intertropical convergence zone seldom occurs, and that is why the cyclone does not originate. So this was the correct answer. And then we have the sixth question: which one of the following pairs of states of India indicates the easternmost and westernmost state? It's a very, very direct answer. It's a mapped based question. So the correct answer is D. It's Arunachal Pradesh in the easternmost and Gujarat in the westernmost. And if you know the points, the actual point, the easternmost point of Indian mainland and westernmost point, make sure you write it. And if you don't know, go watch these videos and come back. Do not forget. It feels really, really bad when we lose out marks on these basic questions that we had been studying since class 2, 3, 4. Next, we have considered the following statements regarding the DPSP. So this is a polity-based question. The principles spell out the socio-economic democracy in the country. Yes, because political democracy is FR and DPSP is socio-economic democracy. And the provisions contained in these principles are not enforceable by any court. That's also correct because it's non-justiciable and non-enforceable. That's correct. So the correct answer is C, both 1 and 2 for question 7. Then we move on to question 8. In the index of 8 core industries, which one of the following is given the highest weight? Again, a geography based question. We'll go through what all are the core industries and everything, but with the answer we get, the correct answer is electricity generation. B is the correct answer, and we'll look into it in greater details when we do geography. We have which of the following national parks is unique in being a swamp with floating vegetation that supports a rich biodiversity? We have 4 options. Now, if you look at rich biodiversity, all the parks have a special unique thing to it. So the catch here is the floating vegetation, and the Cable Lemjao National Park is the correct answer because it's the only floating national park in the world. Then we have which of the following statements is or are correct regarding National Innovation Foundation India NIF. It's an autonomous body of Department of Science and Technology under the central government. Yes, correct. Initiative to strengthen the highly advanced scientific research. No, because it has a institutional support for scouting, spawning, sustaining and scaling up the grassroots innovation. So that was the catch, guys. Do not miss out. If this question would have had it's an autonomous body of the department under the state government, this answer would have been wrong. So does look into it before answering. Correct answer here is A1 only. Then we have what can be the impact of excessive or inappropriate use of nitrogenous fertilizers in agriculture. Proliferation of nitrogen fixing microorganisms in the soil can occur. How will it occur when there is more of nitrogen already, nitrogenous fertilizers already there? So first option is incorrect because then there'll be no more requirement of that. Increase in the acidity of soil, yes, very much there. Leaching of nitrate to the groundwater can occur, yes. So 2 and 3 is the correct answer. The correct answer is C. Then we have question 12 with reference to the IUCN and the CITES. Which of the following statements are correct? IUCN is an organ of the United States. Yes, it is. And CITES is an international agreement between governments. Yes, that's also correct. But IUCN is an observer and not the permanent thing. And thus the first option gets incorrect. IUCN runs thousands of field projects around the world to better management natural environments. Yes. CITES is legally binding on the states that have joined it, but this convention does not take the place of national laws. So that's also correct. So the correct answer is 2 and 3B. So B, 2 and 3 only is the correct answer for question 12. Then we have question 13. Fair and remunerative price of the sugarcane is approved by, the correct answer is B, Commission for Agricultural Costs and Prices. This would stand correct in 2020-2021 also. Then we have what explains the eastward flow of the equatorial countercurrent. When we look into geography properly, when we have the beautiful analysis of geography like we do, we'll know about what's equatorial countercurrent, what's the current flows, what are the warm currents, what are the cold currents, and we'll know everything in detail. But right now the correct answer is, why don't you mention the correct answer? Okay, joking. Correct answer is B, convergence of the 2 equatorial currents for question 14. Then we have the last question for today. It's becoming too much of geography. So consider the following pairs: place of pilgrimage, location, Sri Sailam, Nallamala Hills, Omkareshwar, Satmala, Pushkar, Mahadev. If you look at Sri Sailam, it is in Andhra Pradesh, and if you look at Nallamala Hills, that's also in Andhra Pradesh at the same place. So the first option gets correct. If you look at the Omkareshwar, it's in Madhya Pradesh, but if you look at the Satmala range, which it has matched with, it's in the westernmost part, the western coast part. And if you look at the Mahadev Hills, that's in Madhya Pradesh, but Pushkar is in Rajasthan. So second and third option gets incorrect. The first option is correct. A1 only is the answer. Alright guys, this was it with today's video. I wanted to complete 25 questions for once, but then since we had been continuing with 5 questions and 10 questions a week, I did not want to just jump to 25 and get all of you confused along with me. So this time we'll just end it in 15 questions, but I'll hope possibly that we'll gradually increase the questions so that our pace of solving the MCQs increase fast, and then we can go towards solving the mocks questions that are all available outside in the different resources that are there. So we'll hopefully complete all of them by time. We meet next on Monday. Thank you for watching. I hope you study well and enjoy your day.